There's always something in the back of my mind telling me something's not going to work, that I don't deserve the life that I want.
And you guys have deep conversations almost every day. Me and my family would maybe have like a deep conversation once every few months.
He was like, I want to spoil you. I think you're so beautiful. I said, oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend. I was like, but he likes being spoiled too. He was like, grab him.
We just don't go to my like second removed cousins who, you know, knew some guy across the street. We don't go to that person's funeral. You guys be going to funerals. You guys love going to funerals. That's like a night out to the club. Like, what you wearing to what's her business funeral?
A long ass fucking time ago in a land called Kickapoo, there lived a humble family, religious through and through. But yeah, there was a black sheep and he knew just what to do.
Okay, and we'll start with that.
Let's
I think
start
that's
with
a good
that.
way to start. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're back for another episode of Hanging Out
What's
Forever.
up, besties?
What's happening?
What happening?
It's happening. So we have beautiful, the magnificent, perfection on screen. Asia Hudson. Asia Corinne.
There it is.
Asia Corinne. Asia Corinne. She goes by many names. And Grant Blackwell here. So yeah, we're back for another episode. We took a little bit of a break, but we're back again.
We're back, and you guys are going to catch us on and off MIA because we are producing a dating show.
We got a lot in the works.
A lot of people keep asking, is it like Pop the Balloon? No, not at all. Shout out to Arlette, though. That girl is killing the game, and I respect her hustle and her craft.
That was a great original idea, and we have our own original idea.
We have our own original idea, so
there it is.
If you guys want to be in line for our dating show, go ahead and let's start with submitting. Come back to this episode.
Yeah.
Submit on why you should be on our dating show. We're casting currently, and we'd love to have you guys. If you're looking for love, it's about genuine connection.
And it's a great concept, guys. And you guys will know everything once everything's, you know, set in motion and all that, and we can announce everything. So we're waiting, we're holding out, but you guys will figure it out soon enough.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so, yeah, I think like today we're going to talk about jealousy within a relationship. I thought that'd be like kind of an interesting concept.
I like that. That's good.
Because, you know, I think there's jealousy in most relationships.
At some degree.
To some degree. You know, some worse than others. You know, I think there's different types of jealousy within a relationship. I think that, you know, there's kind of the typical jealousy where you don't want your partner talking to other people, you know, to people of the other opposite sex. And for whatever reason that may be, maybe you don't trust them, or you think they'll cheat on you, or you think that somebody else will come in and tempt them in some type of way, right? So there's that type of jealousy where it's, you know, I think that that's probably the most popular type of jealousy.
Right.
But then there's also jealousy, which I think is probably also popular within relationships, which is just you see your partner doing well, being successful, and maybe you're going through a tough time. Maybe it's, you know, you're just not flowing as well as they are, you know, or you haven't found your path or whatever it may be. And you see your partner, doing well and, you know, showing all this success and whatever they may be pursuing. And that can make you jealous in a way. I feel like, especially when the woman is doing better in a relationship. I think especially when the woman's doing better in a relationship, a guy can feel jealousy and, you know, can feel a lot of different things. But I think jealousy is one of those things of, oh man, I wish I was the one doing better in this relationship. Because as a man, I feel like I should be doing better. I should be leading. I should be in a better place to lead the relationship. And I think that there can be a lot of pressure on men in relationships like that, especially when you're with a hardworking, successful woman like me. I'm with a hardworking, successful, beautiful woman, and you know, she works so hard, and at the end of the day, seeing her work so hard and all those things, it does push me and it makes me do better. And you know, I've learned a lot from you and things like that. But I think there has been times where I've been jealous, you know?
Interesting.
I've been jealous of maybe your success or jealous of things aligning in your life, you know, because when you put yourself, when you get focused in on something, like you really put a lot into it, you know. And I have never been that way, where when I focus on certain things, I don't think of every little action I could be doing, you know, where you think of every little thing you can be doing, and you make sure that every little thing is perfect. Every I is dotted, T is crossed. You know what I mean? You make sure everything is perfect in that. And that you end up getting success from that, you know, because you're so particular. I also think that there can be, you know, downsides of being so particular, obviously, you know, you can overthink things. You can, you know, maybe not complete something because you're constantly critiquing it, or constantly like, oh, I need to add this, I need to add that. But I think that you're very meticulous with the things you do. And because of that, you get a lot of success from things.
Wow. In what way am I so successful that has made you jealous?
I think just the fact that, you know, when you set out to do something, or when you are, even if it's like you're applying for like a new job or something, you do every little step that you could do to potentially get that job. You know, every little thing that you could do, you make sure that every little thing is perfect on your resume. You make sure that you're doing everything the right way. You do the research, you do everything, you know. And I think most people are lazy, and most people don't want to do every little step, you know. They would rather and that's the thing too, you're very hardworking, and you are good at finding time to do things.
Wow.
Like you're good at why are you surprised?
I don't know. I've just never considered you to ever be envious or jealous of me.
I think you're really good with time management too. I think that's like probably something that I guess you could call it jealousy. You know what I mean?
I don't know
like,
if jealous is necessarily
I don't know if jealous is
I can
the right
understand
word.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that jealous is
Envious.
Well, I think that
In a way.
envy comes from a dark place.
Gotcha.
I think that when somebody is envious of what you have, I think that it comes from a dark place, but I think that jealousy could be positive, or it could mean nothing at all, or it could be negative, right? Because there's been times in our relationship where I've been jealous of you, but that doesn't mean that I don't want you to win.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
There's been times in our relationship where I've been jealous of what you have, but it doesn't mean that I'm not rooting for you.
Yeah, envious is more insidious.
Yeah, envious is like, you motherfucker, you don't deserve a goddamn thing, and why is he getting these things and I'm not getting them?
That's interesting, though.
That's how I think of it. And I think that envy is one of the 7 deadly sins.
Is it envy?
I think it's envy, not jealousy, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's envy.
Yeah.
But still, even when you explain it, I'm not hearing still, as you explain it, I'm not hearing a single instance where you've felt jealous of something that I've had going on.
I think it's not so much of what you have going on. It's more of how you are. Like certain traits that you have that I don't have, that I'm like, damn, I wish I had that trait. You know, I wish I was able to manage my time better. I wish I was able to, you know, dial in my thinking in like certain things, and just really dive into the meticulous, you know, parts of whatever it may be. Like, because when you set out to do something, like you do the research, you do every bit of research you could possibly do, you do, and you make sure that you're fully prepared for that. Yeah. For anything that could come your way, you know? And I just think that that's a really great way to be. And I think that, you know, that brings success to you, because anything you set out to do, you typically do. You know what I mean? Like anything that you've set out to do, or anything that you have put your mind to, you really have succeeded in it. Yeah. You know, or you've gotten it, or things, or you see it in a way of like, oh, this kind of like fell in my lap, or this ended up working out. And it's like, yeah, because you were able to put that work in, you know, and I think what you were saying, like, because the difference between envy and jealousy, like jealousy doesn't mean that I don't want you to win. You know, it's more of like, oh, damn, I wish I was winning like you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to, I don't want you to lose or anything, but I want to be right there with you winning, you know? Yeah. And I think that we do have success in our own ways, and we probably have jealousy in some type of way towards one another. But I think that that's a way that I've been jealous of you, is like your work ethic and things that you're able to get done, you know,
Wow.
when you set out to do them. It's just like a really admirable thing that I've noticed you do, you know.
That's really sweet, because I don't think I see myself as like this incredibly successful person. I think that other people would say that about me. But because I don't have what I think I should have in my life right now, I don't necessarily consider
But that
myself
comes with it too.
successful.
So like that comes
I
with
know.
that mindset too, is like it's never good enough.
Yeah.
Because I can always do better. I can always do this. I can always learn this. I can always do this different. You know, you're always constantly picking things apart in that way.
I move my goalpost a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm never really able to sit there and enjoy any of my wins, because as soon as I hit the finish line, I'm still running towards the next finish line. Like, where's the next race? How long am I going to have to train for this triathlon? What parts of my body could be performing better? Like, that's how I think mentally whenever I achieve something. And I think that one of my greatest, most confident eras of my life was my pleasers era. For those of you guys that don't know, I am an anthropologist, and Grant and I are both filmmakers. You should know that by now, at least.
Yeah.
And I created this series. About sex work and strip clubs and all these different various types of sex work, right? And I felt like I was the most confident when I was doing that type of documentary work, because I was on my shit. I was like setting up all the cameras. That was at the time where you didn't really know what to do with cameras. So I was like directing all the time and moving things around and setting up interviews and meeting all these cool people. And I feel like I've lost that fire because I'm like chasing something else now, because I loved that. And I think that maybe if I had kept going with that and like pushed it to go to networks, that I would have gotten picked up. But I think I felt some sort of familial pressure of not wanting to be branded as a sex work girl. But now I'm like, that would have been totally fine. I love that. That's like the work that makes me feel the most alive, I think.
Yeah, but in that type of work, you also see people getting shadow banned. You see people's
That's true.
hard work getting taken down and stuff, you know, and so there was a big risk of doing that type of work.
Yeah, there was a big risk. And then I think that, honestly, being a Black woman, and filming a lot of Black women and other people of color in the sex work industry, I was concerned about that totally pigeonholing me, because I just don't think that, I think that Black creatives have a lot of flexibility, but I don't necessarily think that we have enough flexibility to totally be unbranded. I could be off base here, but for me, look at Cardi B. Perfect example. Look at Cardi B. She's at the peak of her career. Well, maybe not the peak of her career, but she's still killing it. She's a millionaire. She's worth millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And people still talk about her like she's a stripper. Like she's just some dumb stripper hoe, which is insane to me. And so I was a little bit concerned about being so deep in the stripper world and the sex work world that I would be labeled as that, and I wouldn't be able to get any other film-based opportunities, because people would be like, what do you know about film? You've just been doing sex work documentaries, you know? Yeah. But I say that to say that there was a point in time where I felt so confident in what I was doing, and now I see you so confident in what you're doing, and I feel jealous. But I'm 100% in support of everything that you have going on. And for you to say, oh, Asia, you're so much better at time management, you will stay up until 4 a.m. to finish an edit. My clock out time is 10 p.m. I'm done.
I feel like that's
I'm
not
done
good
at 10 p.m.
because, like, I try to get as much done, but I need to like take mental breaks and like do things like that throughout the day. You know, it's hard for me like during the day to just sit and just, well, now I feel like I've been doing that. Like I'll just sit and I'll just be on my computer all day and just, you know, bust out as much as I possibly can, you know, and yes, if I need to stay up super late and figure something out or finish something. But that was the thing too. And I think it was because, like I used to work at night a lot, like, doing editing, like, or like making music or whatever I was doing before. So I kind of got that rhythm of working late at night. So I think that, you know, I just have become like a work night owl in that way. So that's where I feel like my brain can just lock in and
that's perfect
get the most
for me
done.
Personally, because you go to sleep, I'm already asleep, and then I don't like it when you work during our hours.
While you're sleeping, I'm working, and then we have time when you're awake. Yeah,
check this real quick
for sure.
I think I'm just gonna start. Is that 16 minutes? Should I just keep going?
What do you mean? Yeah. Oh no, you don't got to restart it. No, it's fine. But yeah, so like, I think that there's jealousy. There's always going to be jealousy on both sides. You know what I mean? So what did you say of like, you said you have some sort of jealousy or whatever towards, confidence, my confidence.
Yeah, you're so confident.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I've done a lot of things in my life that would lead me to be just as confident, if not more confident. And there's always something in the back of my mind telling me something's not going to work, that I don't deserve the life that I want. There's always something in the back of my mind telling me that the positivity mindset that I have is me lying to myself. And that's what I talked to my dad about this morning is what I want for myself. When I tell myself I want those things, I have to convince myself that I want them, because it almost often feels like a total lie. And there are some times where I'm having a great day. I'm having an amazing day and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait until everything that I've ever desired comes to me. But then as the sun sets, my anxiety and I think my depression and my negative self-talk bubble up inside of me, and they rise and it comes to a boil, and it causes me to not be able to get good sleep, because it's scary. Because as much as I want everything that I say I want in my life, and as much as those desires are true to me, I can't ever escape the biggest truth, feeling like I'll never be anything at all, feeling like I'm lying to myself, feeling like I'll never have those things. And I just tell myself that those are my desires that are achievable, so that I can force myself to keep going, so that I don't give up. But deep down inside, I have no idea. I have no idea if the things that I want in my life are gonna happen for me. Yeah. I feel like I do have the work ethic. I feel like I'm smart. I know I have amazing ideas, but there's something in me, and it's almost like a different, like, separate compartmentalization in my mind. So it's like my regular brain is up here, but then there might be something like right here behind my ear being like, you know, you're never going to be shit, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're never going to be able to achieve that, right?
I think that comes with the mindset that we were talking about that you have of constantly moving the goalposts, constantly nothing is right or nothing is as good as you think it could be, you know? And so with that comes lack of confidence.
Yeah.
And
that's like something I admire so much about you.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like,
it is good.
Are you scared? And you're like, yeah, but fuck it. And I wish I had that so much, because I think everybody is more scared than anybody's willing to admit. And that's why everybody feels so alone.
But that's the thing too, though. Cause like, yeah, you'll freak out about it and obsess over things and get in your head about things. But at the end of the day, you end up going and doing it.
I know. But at the same time, sometimes it feels like
I think we just have two different methods of how we get the thing done.
I don't know. Cause for me, sometimes it feels like I do everything around the thing instead of the thing itself. So it looks, and when everybody's like, oh my God, Asia, you work so hard, you're so successful. I'm like, am I? I feel like I do all of the work surrounding the task so that it looks like I'm doing the work. Right?
You do,
but does it get done?
You do.
Am I moving forward?
You do a lot of busy work.
I'm a fucking piddler. Piddler on the roof.
But it's also you're growing this strength and you're growing this muscle for what is in the center. So like once you do proceed into the center, you're like ready to go. You're locked and loaded. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
You have like everything ready to go, where I have a totally different mindset. I just jump into the middle and then I like figure things out. You know what I mean? Where you're learning every piece of it, every piece of the puzzle, or, you know, you learn every piece of what makes that thing that thing. And then once you've learned everything you can possibly learn about it, then you're like, okay, let me step in now.
Yeah.
So I think I think that's just two different types of people, how people go about things.
But I admire that about you, because you never get so in your head about what's happening around you that it prevents you from being able to move forward.
Yeah.
And I think that with me, because I need things to be so perfect, like we talked about on one of our recent episodes, it becomes polarizing to me and paralyzing to me. So that's why I feel like I do a bunch of busy work so I can convince myself that I'm moving forward. But like, am I? Am I moving forward? And that's just something I really admire about you, is that you don't take huge steps forward, but you take a lot of little steps. And by the time you shuffle like that, right? But then by the time I'm done freaking out, you're like all the way over there.
Yeah, but you'll like stall on one step for however long
That's
you
what I'm
need
saying.
to stall there to learn everything about it, and then you
Oh.
can take 5 steps forward because you've learned everything, and it's made the journey easier for you, where I'm learning everything on the journey. You know what I mean? But that's how I am too.
And you like the journey. I hate the journey.
I need to like learn by getting thrown into it. That's
true.
just how I am, you know? And I think that frustrates you because there will be times where you tell me to do certain things that you would do if you wanted to learn about something, or if you wanted to do something, or, you know, you're like, hey, create this and create that. And like, put all your thoughts out on paper and do this. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works with me. That's not how it works.
That
I
does drive me
need to
insane.
take a step in, then I can start learning the process.
I think that concerns me about you though, sometimes, because it's weird because you jump all in without really being all in at the same time. And I think that's my concern is that are you prepared for this moment, or is the moment going to happen? Then I have to wait for you to get prepared. I don't like waiting for you to get prepared when I've already asked you to get prepared and when I'm prepared. So I think that that's a concern in our relationship as it pertains to how you learn and your learning curve, and then how you act upon tasks that need to be done. And because I'm like, okay, all this needs to be done, da 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 da, da, and then I figure out everything that needs to be done, and then I move towards it. I think that you jump in and then you backtrack towards what needs to be done, and then figuring it out that way. And for me, sometimes it feels like we're two ships passing in the night with figuring things out, because I'm already like, ships ahoy, mast is cast, whatever, right? All the boat stuff. And then sometimes I still feel like you're on the boat, but then you're stopping off at all these different ports trying to get crew.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But I think at the end of the day, like, I do jump into it knowing like what I need to get done and what needs to be done. And I get it done at the end of the day. You know, I think I do get it done. And I think we just do it in different ways, and we have 2 different ways of looking at it. That's how I feel.
But another way that I felt, another instance, I think I felt jealous of you for a while, was your relationship with your family, and that they're just kind of outside of your life, right?
Yeah,
like they're in it because they're your parents, but on a day-to-day basis, they're very outside of your life. I don't feel like
they don't take a lot of energy from me.
Yeah.
At all.
And I don't feel like, this is not meant to be a dig, but I don't think that your parents are, I don't know how to say it, like overly invested.
I don't take that as a dig, because I don't want parents who are super invested in my life and who are super, because that makes me feel like then they can start making judgments about my life, and they can start, casting their own opinions onto my life. So, you know, I'm glad that there's a separation between me and my parents, because there's a boundary there that comes with that separation. And they know that if they want me to move in one direction, I don't need to. I can move in my direction that I feel is better for me or best for me.
I really admire that about you. You're just like, I hate it sometimes. It does drive me crazy because I'm like, do this. You're like, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do
hate
that
so much.
Well, that comes back to the way that I do certain things and you do certain things. You know?
But there was a period of time where I felt so much pressure from my parents that I felt like I had to take care of them and be there for them and help them figure things out. And I like, my parents are really smart. I'm just really close to them. I'm super, super close to my parents, which I wouldn't change for the world. But there was a period of time.
Pressure on you. I think your parents put pressure on you without knowing that they're putting pressure.
Yeah, because we're best friends.
Without knowing they're putting pressure.
Right.
Sorry, I just want to redo that.
No, you okay. Go ahead, do it again.
Well,
because I was talking.
No, it's fine. Well, but I think that your parents, they put pressure on you without knowing that they're putting pressure on you.
Yeah. And I mean, my parents are my best friends in the whole world.
Yeah.
And there's something honest. There's not even something. I love that. But I think also with them being my parents, and this is definitely a social, this is definitely like a socioeconomic and also
cultural.
ethnic and cultural position, is because you grew up like, I don't know, middle class, like upper middle class.
Middle class.
Yeah,
like,
middle class plus.
Yeah.
You know?
Grew up in like a cheap town, so it
right.
wasn't like an expensive city to live in. Yeah.
So I think because you grew up middle class and your parents have like really great jobs, like your dad's a lawyer or your mom works in like the city planning or government, something like that, and your parents didn't come from nothing, I think that changes your attachment style to them.
Yeah.
And I think that people whose parents never struggled for anything, they don't necessarily have the same responsibility or the same pressure to adopt that responsibility of taking care of those parents when they're older.
Definitely.
Versus my parents. My dad grew up super poor on a farm, breaking chicken necks and churning butter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my mom grew up with like 8 siblings. So she wasn't necessarily poor, but they're not balling out of control. You can't ball out of control with 8 siblings, right?
Yeah.
So I think that because my parents' upbringings were, I don't want to say turbulent, but they were just a lot more intense and just raw. It was just like a very raw experience of life, especially my dad. I feel a responsibility in my life to make sure that I'm at a certain place in my career and in my finances so that I can provide for them.
Yeah.
And when I'm not there, and when I reflect on like only being able to really do for myself and doing certain things for my mom and my dad, right? I am able to do some things, but it makes me feel like I haven't accomplished anything in life. And that's what I was jealous of you for the longest time. And I think that because you were so isolated from the feeling of being responsible for your family, from that familial responsibility, I think that in a way it bled over into our relationship, because I don't think that initially you felt that responsibility with me as we became getting more serious.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that made me angry.
But overall, like, white people just don't have that community culture, that cultural community.
I will say that all my white friends are like, my parents are going in a home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like every
there's
single
not
one
a lot
of them.
of there's not a lot of whites who are going to take in their homes, or who are going to take in their parents in their homes. You know what I mean? It's just not as normal to do in white culture. What do you call it?
You can call it that.
Yeah,
right?
white culture.
Yeah, you can call it that.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah, so I felt, I would say that I honestly felt envious of that. And I know that that's extreme because it's so negative, but I did. I was like, he doesn't have to worry about anybody else but himself.
Well, I think
because of that, he doesn't feel like he has to worry about me that much. And I have to worry about my parents, and he's not thinking about his parents. But
I think the thing too that, well, one, I think that now that I'm thinking about it, I think a lot of women take on that responsibility a lot with their families as well, or with their parents. So I think that it's not just cultural. I think it is like, a male and female thing too, but also,
I don't think your sister's stressing out about your parents.
No, my sister's chilling. My sister's chilling. But I think also because your parents are older, you feel like you need to show them more success and show them, you want to share more things with them before they get too old. So you're like, I need to be successful before that time comes. I need to have a child before that comes. I want to get married. You want them to see all of these, achievements before it's too late. Mm-hmm.
And that is like, I had to remove myself from that pressure, which has taken years, because 3 years ago, I was like, maybe I should have a baby. I'm not ready for no damn child.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for no damn child.
But that pressure was coming from your parents' age, and
not even them directly.
Yeah.
It's just, my parents, they're older parents. And I genuinely don't think that I would have children if my parents weren't around. I just wouldn't be interested in it. Like, I don't want, this sounds crazy, I guess, but I don't want kids enough just for me to have them if my parents were no longer around. It's absolutely astronomically imperative that if I have a child, they can experience my mother, they can experience my father.
Yeah.
And if they weren't able to experience my parents, I would just not even be interested in having a child, because family is so immensely important to me. And I just, especially with my mom, like, I don't think I could do it without her.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it without her. And it's not like, oh, I'm only having a kid for my family, but I don't want to be a mother enough to not experience the beauty of motherhood with the people I love most.
Yeah.
With the people that brought me into the world.
Definitely.
So
it's a totally
different
different
thing for me.
And that goes back to like having that community behind you, and having that, you know, not necessarily like having that help, but obviously it would be helpful to have grandparents who are active and, you know, cognitively there, you know.
And not only that, it's just, I loved my grandma. Every time I think about her passing away and not being with us anymore, I like want to cry. And I can't imagine not having a grandma.
Yeah.
You know, like that's crazy. Not having grandparents is crazy as hell. My kids already are barely going to have cousins. You know what I mean? You got to have cousins and grandparents.
They're going to have friend cousins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But no, I understand that. Like there is a pressure there as we get older and as our parents get older and things like that. Cause I feel that same thing too. I don't feel the pressure as immensely as you do, but I would love for, you know, our kid to meet my parents when they're in a good place mentally and they're not, you know, too old to like take them to do active things or whatever it may be.
Do you feel as though there's not a pressure for you to have kids that you expose to your parents because your parents have made it kind of like clear that they don't want grandchildren?
Well, I wouldn't say that my parents have made it clear that they
They've
don't want
made it clear to
grandchildren.
me.
Yeah, but their
Love them.
take is always like, no pressure, guys. No pressure. Like if you guys want to have kids eventually, go ahead. But if not, that's cool too. You know what I mean? Like that's their vibe. I feel like they're not the type of parents that are constantly like, when you guys popping out kids, when you guys doing this, when you doing
they're
that.
not like that.
It's
But,
more
I mean,
of like what you said of like, they're not as invested in
I've
our
had
life.
conversations with your parents where they're like, we don't want grandkids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh. No.
I mean, yeah, that does.
They've said that to me.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
that's
They
not
can
shade, it's
be
just
kind of
true.
like a little cold and harsh and like, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean?
I just think that they only feel that way because there is probably still on some level a little bit on.
It's okay.
Oh, I think that they only feel that way because on some level, there's probably still some uncertainty about how viable our careers are. I think if we were balling out of control, your parents would be like, hey, kids, do what you want.
Do you.
I don't think that they want to end up being responsible for a grandchild, which I totally understand. That
Because
makes sense.
my parents have not taken that creative path. They're not entrepreneurs
And my parents are.
whatsoever. So her parents are much more understanding when it comes to our career choices. Yeah, that makes total sense, actually. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think if they had all the clarity in the world that what we were doing was going to work and that it was bringing in the big bucks, then I don't want to say that they'd be like, yes, kids, have a grandchild, but I don't think that they would speak in opposition
for sure
of us having a child.
Totally.
Are we going to have a kid?
That makes sense. I think we will eventually.
Do you want to make me a mom?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I
Do you want me to make you a dad?
Yeah. I think that I think I can definitely see us doing it eventually. I think that we're doing it on our timeline though, because I think you had that pressure from your parents, and I think that has kind of passed in a way.
Yeah.
Probably from conversations that you guys have had and things like that. I feel like you don't feel that pressure as much. And so maybe that has lessened the jealousy that you may feel towards me or maybe the more understanding that you have of the way that I see things when I don't make certain choices because I think that, my family members would not necessarily like disapprove, but I don't make choices because I think that my parents are going to miss out on something.
I think that you grew up isolated in a way based on what we've, throughout our entire relation spoken about. I think that you've had a great relationship with your parents, but I think that also as a person growing up, you were very isolated from them also. In your young adulthood and learning about yourself, everything you've told me, it seems often that you learned about yourself through the lens of having friends and going to school.
I was
and
a friend guy.
Yeah, and having those experiences. And I learned about myself through the lens of family. Familial experiences, having great time, familial abuse, all these things.
For sure.
Emotional abuse, but like still, that's how I learned about myself. I never put myself out there to like have friends in that way because I wasn't comfortable with people because I was getting a lot of shit. Not at home, but like adjacent to home.
I think also that with my family, there's just not a lot of depth there because it was just kind of one note.
Yeah.
Like my relationship with my family was just one note. There was nothing that was super traumatic that happened. There was nothing super positive or happy. Like I was never. No, I mean that sounds wrong. No, that sounds wrong because I had a happy childhood. I had a great time.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
you remember
there was lots of great times that I had.
Is there one specific moment where you're like, "Damn, my mom, blah 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 blah," and it was the like a child, like a foot, like a
no, I think
spark
not.
note of
There's
happiness.
not one big happy moment I can think of, but I mean, there's a lot of little ones where I'm like. Okay, she's so sad right now. But there's a lot of little ones where I was like, oh, like my dad really had my back there, or like, you know, like me and my dad really had a great time, or me and my mom had such a great talk there. You know, I mean, there's definitely little moments like that, but there's not like these huge core memories that I can think of. I mean, we had a lot of memories too. Like we went on vacations together and we had great times, but it was kind of one note, like what I said. You know, there was nothing super traumatic that happened that pulled my family together. You know what I mean? And there was nothing or apart, and there was nothing super positive out of the box that happened that brought us together too. You know, that I can think of. And my family was just never very deep. Like we never.
My family deep.
Yeah, your family is very deep, and you guys talk every day. You know, and you guys have deep conversations almost every day. Me and my family would maybe have like a deep conversation like once every few months.
Does that ever make you feel isolated? Does it ever make you
No,
feel...
because like what you said, I always got those deep rooted relationships through friendship and through even my cousins and stuff.
Yeah,
I was
shitload of cousins.
Yeah, and they were all my age, you know, so nice. I always had a lot of deep relationships. It's just my parents, I think they learned from their parents, or they didn't learn from their parents of how to deeply connect emotionally and verbally. You know, they just never had that tool, and so they didn't pass it on to me. You know, they definitely didn't pass that tool on to me. I kind of had to learn on my own. You know, and I learned a lot from being with you, you know, and being in relationships and things like that.
Relationships?
I mean, just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I took something from my past relationships, and then a lot from friendships. And, you know, me and you, obviously this is the most serious relationship I've been in. So I think I've learned the most in our relationship, about how to communicate and how to express myself. But yeah, and then I think I learned, you know, certain things from my sister too. Me and my sister were always close. So, you know, me and my sister definitely, I think, have a lot more core memories than I can say with like me and my parents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's so sweet. I mean, I've talked to your sister loads of times because she's the best.
Yeah, because we were close in age, and we could bond over certain things. And
she's told me stuff about you that I'll be like, your sister was telling me about this time where she was really sick, and you sat there and you rubbed her back and moved her hair out of her face.
I don't even remember that.
She said that was like a core memory for her.
Wow.
And I told you about it, and you're like, what? And I'm like, what?
I mean, I must have been young. Though, because I'm younger than her. I'm 2 years younger than her.
She said she was 14, so then you were 10.
Okay.
No, you were 12.
Yeah, so I don't know. My memory's a
something
little
like that. 14.
Blurry.
Maybe she was 12 and you were 10. I don't know, but it was really sweet.
Are you ever jealous because you say like you have certain jealousy about the dynamic between me and my parents? Would you say you have any type of jealousy of the dynamic I have with my sibling, my sister? No,
I got 2 great brothers.
Yeah,
one of them gay. Hip hip hooray!
But you,
so I love that.
But you and your brother are interesting. Your younger brother are interesting because you guys, when you guys are like in a good positive space, when you guys are in a good place, you guys are like this. You guys are like best friends. You know what I mean? You can talk about anything, but when you guys are not in a good place, you guys are like mortal enemies.
I know.
So
I think that's, I don't think I was born to have a sister, because me and my gay brother, we be beefing like bitches.
Yeah, for sure.
We be beefing like bitches sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's deep.
I love him.
It goes deep.
But he's a Virgo, and that's not my favorite
It's
thing.
rough.
And he be so catty and just saying stuff that makes me so mad. And I'm like, bitch.
He's an interesting guy. I love Alex, but he's a very interesting person.
Yeah, and then I have
He's
an older
unique.
brother with like a very wide age gap.
Yeah.
And he's almost like a father figure to me. So
Yeah.
I feel like I get the best of both worlds, especially because of my cousins, Ashley and Kelly. Like, I call Kelly all the time, and I wouldn't say that she's like a sister to me, but she's as close as I would ever want there to be a sister in my life.
For sure.
I think that growing up with my dad, he always wanted a daughter. So had there been 2 girls, we would have been beefing at the neck. We might have been twins, and one of us would have had to eat the other one in the womb. It's kill or be killed. You know what I mean? I just don't think that if I had a sister, because there was already a lot of competition and favoritism between me and my brother.
Yeah.
I think that if I had a sister, it would be endless. It would be endless. And I just wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah.
I'm not a sister girl. I'm a homegirl girl, but I'm not a sister girl. I think that there's some people who are meant to have brothers, and I'm 100% one of them. Because I got a messy mouth.
Yeah. I mean, if you did have a sister, like they would have to be like a completely different personality than you.
She'd probably also have to be gay.
Yeah, or just
She'd
a
probably have to
very
be gay
like
like my brother.
understanding, patient, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, type of person, like how I am, basically.
But then I'd be like, you think you're better than me, bitch? Get off your
Because you're patient.
get off your high horse,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Yeah, and I'm an older sister too to my younger brother,
Yeah.
and I think that adds to the dynamic. But I'm never envious of like what you have with your sister, because even though me and my younger brother, we go at it, and
you guys
not
have
to
a
say-
very deep
I was like
relationship.
cellular level.
Yeah.
Like, we're almost kind of twins in a way because we're so close, and we've cried together, we've screamed at each other.
That's kind of what I was saying about my family of just the one note. Like there's
that's
it's
such a
not
good way to describe them.
there's nothing like deep or traumatic or anything that could like glue us closer together. Yeah. Where your family has definitely gone through a lot.
We have like
and has bonded you though.
We have a family. We have a family reunion every year. Huge family. And some of the people in my family, I won't say which side, but they created a book so that you could follow the family tree, like who's related to who, and this person is that person, and blah blah. And then they were telling me all this tea, all this like trauma tea that nobody knows about. I said, we need an after dark book.
Yeah.
We need a book that talks about who the lineage is
There's
and what's really happening.
Historic tea.
It's historic. It goes deep. I
historic
said, who was
tea.
doing who and what, and that created why?
Yeah.
That is so I just be like,
That's the thing too. Like,
be like,
my family, there's
Grant's
never
family
any
ain't going through
drama.
this at
I
all.
know there's never any drama. It's so boring.
I know, but I like you that way.
Okay. Got you. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that you're boring, but I really do think that if you had as
simple.
complex of an upbringing as I did, that we probably wouldn't be able to get along because there wouldn't be room for both of our traumas. There'd be no room.
Yeah.
And I have a lot. I'm like a hot air balloon full of trauma sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, and I can
In emotion.
and emotion. Shut up.
Yeah.
I can sometimes often suck up all the emotional availability in the room, which is also why I think it's good. I don't have a sister. I have brothers, and they're very isolated people.
Yeah.
But if you and I had come from similar backgrounds, I don't think that we would be able to work out because neither of us would have been able to give. We would have been able to take a step back and see where the other was coming from. Because if we were both like me and how I process, right? We
Yeah.
would have each been so overly consumed in what we had going on that we would have not been able to find ourselves in a place of perspective and gaining that perspective. So I think that you coming from like a one line, relatively boring, not that they suck boring, but just like,
but it's
like
like
stability boring.
Yeah,
Like
it's a stable, just, you know.
predictable. That's a better word
Yeah,
than boring.
exactly.
But because I like your family, they're a good time. Your dad knows how to party. But
Yeah.
like I'm saying, your family is very predictable.
No,
And you
I love
coming-
that too, because
Yeah.
I'm not constantly like going to funerals, or I'm not constantly.
Damn!
That wasn't a dig on you,
My-
but your family do be going to funerals.
Yeah,
right?
oh, Grant!
Is that messed up?
Yes!
But it's like, it's because you guys are so connected though. It's not
No,
because
you're saying
like
they're
when
dropping like flies.
No, I'm not saying that.
What are you
like
saying?
my family's dropping like flies too. We just don't go to their funerals. We just don't go to my like second removed cousin's aunt who knew some guy across the street. We don't go to that person's funeral. You guys be going to funerals. You guys love going to funerals. I'm sorry. It's like a night on the club. That's like a night out to the club. Like, what you wearing to? What's her face's funeral? Oh,
you guys, we have dark humor.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna.
But that's kind of true though. That is true though. There's one time I swear your mom was like talking to you. She's like, I'm gonna wear this new dress to what's her face's funeral. I was like, whoa, damn. Make sure you look nice and good for that funeral.
Wait, I'm crying. We do be going to a lot of funerals.
Oh man. But I think that comes back to like that's a cultural thing too. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think white people are like as connected with each other like that. So we don't celebrate each other in certain ways like other cultures would. That makes sense.
Yeah. You're not invited to the next funeral. I'll tell you that though.
I'll sit that one out. I'll take that.
God, I hope it's nobody like.
No, but you know what I mean by that. I'm not saying that you guys drop like flies. I'm not saying that you guys drop like flies, but yeah. There's always a family function, which I love that too.
Not him calling funerals a family function, guys.
No, but other than funerals, your family is always having functions.
We
and
do
stuff,
be
and
having
I love
functions.
That. Yeah.
I just got back from a
That's
cousin's
great.
spa trip in Palm Springs.
Yeah, see, that's great.
That was so fun.
That's good. That's positive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That was pretty funny.
That was hilarious. I can't wait to clip that. That was good.
Yeah, that's a clip. But yeah, I mean, is there any other ways of like jealousy that can be within a relationship? Like,
you hate it when guys hit on me. Hate it. I'll be like, Grant, somebody told me I was pretty today. And you're like, ugh.
I don't know if that's like a jealousy thing, though.
I love it when girls hit on you.
Yeah, you a freak, though.
Yeah. Y'all, I be telling Grant, I'm like, let's go out to a bar where I drive there and you drive there and you act like you don't know me and I'm on the other side of the bar and you buy me a drink and then you come over and you present that drink to me and then we go home together. And then I get to watch other women try to flirt with you at the bar. Oh my God, my dream. But he don't like to act. I'm a big actress.
No, I mean,
I'll pretend all day.
I love to role play and things like that. But when it comes to like, yeah, exactly what you said, like acting and we involve other people like a bartender and stuff like, am I supposed to sit there?
He's involved.
I'm supposed to sit there and act like I don't know you.
Yes.
It's weird. It's
the bartender doesn't know he's involved.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if you
he
were
doesn't know he's involved.
Hey, Sar, I'm a part of this role play thing. Role play is acting.
Yeah, that's true.
You think you're a doctor?
But it's a private show when you're doing role play.
Grant ain't a doctor, y'all.
Yeah. So I could be.
You have been.
I have been. That's true. What kind of doctor do you think I was?
I was thinking an OBGYN.
Yeah, gyno. Probably. But okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't really get jealous like that though. What? Do I? You think I get jealous?
Yes.
When? Well, just because no.
Here
okay,
we go.
there's a difference between me getting jealous and you being like, guess what happened to me today? And I'm like, what? What happened? And you're just like, this guy said I was like the most beautiful girl he's ever seen. And he pulled up, he stopped his car and he had to say this and say that. And I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to supposed to react?
He said, hey, I want to spoil you.
Oh yeah, there was that guy.
Like,
this is a
what?
real story.
And so I walked up to the car and I was like, what are you saying? He was like, I want to spoil you. I think you're so beautiful. I said, oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend. And then I was like, but let me see how this goes. I was like, but he likes being spoiled too. He was like, grab him. Are we going to pass up on that, Grant?
Yes, we are.
Grant.
We're not going to do that.
Grant, I've already told you. I said, what if there's a sugar daddy that wants to spoil the both? He doesn't want anything. No sex.
That's
no
just
king.
not true. That there's no.
How do you think that these dominatrixes, who are these financial dominatrixes, make money?
They do stuff, and they don't say that they be doing stuff.
No, they don't.
They give in some type of way. Yeah, they give in some type of way.
They don't. They give.
They pay back.
But like,
yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like it. So that's what you come at me with though is like a random store and there's always she's like a magnet
for what?
For like I don't even know. You just like you're a magnet for like
can't think of it 'cause it's not true.
unbelievable activities or just things happen to you, and I've heard them have, like, I'll be on the phone with you and there will be some guy coming up to you saying crazy things, or just like being out of, I don't even know how to. Make sure this isn't too hot. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel
Hatred,
like things that don't usually happen to other people happen to you.
Like what? Name one thing. You don't think girls are getting catcalled?
You're like, oh my God, this was insane. This insane thing happened to me today. You know what I mean? How many times I don't know. I can't think of something off the top, but there is a lot of situations where
I have a whimsical life.
Where like an insane thing happens to you, and I think it's because it's like your energy when you walk in a room. Like,
I have a very inviting aura.
Exactly, and like,
talk to me. What's going on?
Yeah, like you are like a magnet to just interesting things.
But you're telling me that if I met a sugar daddy who wanted to sugar cuck, I guess, I don't know, and he was like, I'll pay. We're not gonna do the do in front of him, right? But like, say that he was just like, baby, I want to pay your rent. Mm-hmm. You're not going to let that man pay our rent.
I don't know. I just, there's just like, there's definitely something that they're paying for. They're not just going to pay for nothing. That's what I'm saying. They're going to expect something.
That have never met men and who have gotten
I know, but that's
money,
so rare. That never happens. It
happens. But everybody doesn't think it happens because it's an underground lifestyle. I've seen it happen hella times.
I know, but it's still extremely rare. You know what I mean? Most people are out here, if they have a sugar daddy, whatever, they have to physically do something. I'm not specifically saying sexual. Yeah, like lunch or going on a date or, you know, being arm candy, whatever it may be. There's usually an expectation for that money.
I should have done more sugaring when I was single. Non-sexual sugaring. Mm-hmm. But before we got together, I should have, Then I'd have no questions about it. I did it for like one time and I didn't like it.
Okay. See, this is this. What? No, it's fine. But see, this is the type of stuff she starts talking about, and then it's like, what is my reaction supposed to be to this?
You go, girl.
You go,
get
girl.
Those coins,
you
sis.
go, girl. Get them.
Get that get that Prada bag, mama.
Yeah, no. So that's not jealousy. That's just you bringing
what?
Too much information to me.
I can't help but to share with you. You're my best friend.
I know, and it's fine, and I'm used to it now, and it's okay. It's fine with me. But when you get upset about my reaction not being positive or not,
to support me.
I know. But when your reaction to my reaction is like, why are you acting like that? You know what I mean? It's like, obviously I'm going to act like that. Why else, what else could my reaction be? But that's, I think that's about it. We went into a lot of different topics.
We bounced around.
Yeah, which was good because the root of all of it was kind of like certain jealousy that we may have towards one another or whatever. And I think at the end of the day, jealousy can be a positive thing in a relationship. It's not always negative. I think that being, jealous or however you want to put it, with your partner, if they're doing something positive and it encourages you to be on their same level and to push hard and to be like, okay, she can do it, I want to do it too. Right. I think that can be positive. I think that obviously there's a lot of negative jealousy. And something that we didn't really get into too is like the jealousy of your time, that you spend with your friends or your family or something like that. I think that can go left. Of if you start getting jealous of your partner spending too much time with their friends or spending too much time with their family,
that's
you have to be.
Flag.
It's a red flag, but I think that it can also make sense though. Like if your significant other is almost avoiding spending time with you, just so they can be with their friends more, be with their family more, whatever it may be. But you look like a psycho if you come to them being like, hey, you're spending too much time with your family, and you should just find a healthy balance between,
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Sorry, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish?
No, go ahead.
So you're going out of town. And I was talking to my mom. She was like, oh, he's going to be calling you left and right, and you're going to be calling him. I said, I don't call him when he goes out of town. I never call my man when he goes out of town, ever. I don't care if you're on a boys trip. I don't care if you're on a family trip. I don't care if you're hanging out with your dad. I'm not going to call you when you're on, unless you're at your parents' house, and I know that you're just like there the whole time. But if you're on a trip doing some boy stuff, and you're like on a guy's trip, whatever, I'm not calling you. You'll call me when you have the time. I'm not worried about it. I got your location. I'm not even really checking it.
I got your location.
You do. We share locations. But for me, I want to respect the time that you have with the people that matter to you.
Yeah.
And you don't really have friends that are just dogs. Like, you know what I mean? Like the friends that you have, I 100% I trust. And I don't need to trust them at the end of the day because I trust you. So I think that there are a lot of people who don't feel comfortable with their partners going on girls' trips. I'm going to go on a girls' trip. You know what I mean? And I'll call you when I have the time. You're going to go on a boys trip and you're going to call me when you have the time, but I'm not going to be sitting there at my phone wondering what you're doing and where you're at and why you haven't called. If it's been 8 hours, I'm like, is he dead?
Yeah.
You know,
the same thing goes for you too. If you're on a trip doing your thing and, you know, you're hanging out with people, whatever, like I'm not going to blow up your phone and, you know, take time away from that because we spend enough time together too. That's the thing too. We spend a lot of time together. So on the rare times that we do separate and like I go on a certain trip or I go on a separate trip, you go on a separate trip, you know, like it's okay to take that time apart.
The men are going to say that I'm a cheater.
And to respect that time apart.
Yeah. The men are going to say that I'm cheating.
I don't think so. I think the men are going to pull that same thing of send this to her so she doesn't blow up my phone on guys' trips.
Good
you know
point,
what I mean?
Good point.
Yeah.
But I mean, when they're like, it's okay when guys do it, but girls don't need to go on girls' trips. What do you need to go on a girls' trip for? Because I want to hang out and get ratchet with my bitches.
That just falls back into, you know, being jealous of your significant other and their friendships and stuff like that. You know, it's like, oh, why do you want to go do that? Like, and that's because you're jealous of like other guys maybe flirting with them or hitting on them, whatever it may be, wherever your mind goes when you think of like your girl going on a trip with her friends or whatever. But same thing. Like I trust you, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say that I trust all of your friends.
Fair.
Being like having good judgment, whatever.
Fair.
But I trust you so much that it doesn't really matter. Like you could be hanging out with the thoughtiest city girl out there, but I would still trust you enough to make good decisions. You know, I don't have any doubt in my mind that you would make, you know, bad decisions in that sense.
That's so sweet. Thanks. I am a good decision maker, but I will say if there was a sugar mama and she was like, damn, Grant's fine as hell, I'll pay him $5,000 a month minimally just to hang out with me and go to lunch, I'd be like, you take your ass to lunch. you make sure you're hungry as hell and you take your ass to lunch. You go get that turkey club and you get those truffle fries. Yeah. Okay. You take your ass. I swear, if a sugar mama came to Grant and was like, damn, I think you're so fine, I just want to spend time with you with no ding-a-ling, I'd be like, you get your ass outside. You wear those booty cutoff shorts right now. You wear those cutoff sleeves top and you show off those guns.
I don't know if you would. You talk a big game.
Maybe, but I like being a little jealous. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I already find you desirable, but when a woman wants you, I'm like, God, yes.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before on other podcasts.
Then I got to put the extra game on you, like, nobody can take you from me, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've talked about that on other podcasts too. Of like,
I'm into it.
It kind of makes women, I feel like, more attracted to their partners when other women desire them.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, go over there on the other side of the bar, leave me alone. Come over in 10 minutes. I want to see. I want to watch what's going on. But that's my story.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, that seems like we
solid
kind of
episode.
touched all the different types of jealousy.
Don't be jealous of your partner's success in a way that you wish that they weren't doing well. I feel like it's normal to be a little bit jealous, like, damn, I wish I was in that place. But as long as you're not hindering your partner from being able to continue to succeed, then a little bit of jealousy ain't never hurt nobody. This is called friendly competition.
Yeah, exactly. Or just at the end of the day, you don't want them to, go backwards. You don't want to see the downfall of them because they're doing success, because they have more success or whatever. Like, use that as motivation.
Yeah. And that's our story, y'all.
Sounds good, guys.
Like we said, we are gearing up to produce a dating show, and we are so excited to bring it to y'all. It's a very unique and original idea, and I'm so excited to be able to produce it, and Grant's going to also be like directing it. And if you guys want to be on a dating show, with us as your hosts, where you will be finding love potentially.
Sign up.
Sign up. You guys are the best.
All right, guys.
We love you, besties.
See you guys.
Wink.